Conversant, Publish, and of course the ex-Google network. Just wanted to kick this off to say, first of all, to show some gratitude to the ex-Google network, because Matt was the one that introduced us to it about 2 months ago when we gave this presentation at an AdTech event. Following that, we got $28,000 Google Cloud grant. We really wanted to express our gratitude and also give a bit back to the ex-Google community. But the other thing to it as well is we realized that the skill sets that come out of Google are amazing, and some of you are still in Google, and we want to utilize that within our network, within our team, within Conversant, who we share an office with, and we also want you guys, if you need resources or you need help, we want you to bounce ideas off of us as well. What we're going to do to start off with is just do a bit of a brief run through of the history of Publish, and just about our journey as a company. Then we're going to go into a panel discussion with Anne and Chris, former Googlers. They're going to talk about what they're working on now. So I'll kick off with Publish.
No, so we kind of stumbled on this business, but I started the business nearly 5 years ago myself as one-man band, just consulting to clients, and I realized there was an opportunity there for the consulting services that I was given to publishers, but what I didn't have is the expertise. So hence I knew Tobin from my Google days, and I always kept in touch with him, and got in touch with him again and said, you got to come out here, Tobin, there's a lot of opportunity in Australia, and went on a holiday to Bali, where he was on a surfing holiday, and I didn't do any surfing at all, and I was meant to stay in the couch, but I stayed in his bed, and I basically convinced him to come over to Australia to start up the business with me. And that's when we really started Publift, and it started to explode after that, because he brought a lot of skills, including product knowledge.
So I think it's really good timing seeing an old friend and old colleague. I was in a position that many of you are going to get to in your career, where you kind of reached a bit of a dead end, and you're just you're going to work and going through the motions, but you don't feel passionate about it, and you've lost a bit of interest. And so seeing Colin at that time was perfect timing, and all the things that I wanted to achieve that I couldn't do in my last company, I really felt like we had a chance to do with our own company. So we'll get into that.
How much money were you on back then, Tobes?
A lot of money, and that's a shock to the system going into the startup world, I'll tell you.
Took a massive pay cut, but you made the point before that you were getting loads of money, but
I wasn't going to go into it, but I will. I will. So I'm going to bring up Anne and Chris on stage. Speaking of the Giant, it's obviously regularly tops the best place to work. You guys left. Can you just really briefly summarize what the key driving force behind leaving was?
So I think it started before Google. Before Google, I was in California running a nonprofit out of Africa, Nepal, and the US. I was also doing corporate social responsibility consulting for a lot of the Fortune 500 companies. And I was sitting with a Gmail software engineer friend that challenged me to calculate how many people I think I could touch in my lifetime with my nonprofit model. I buffered it, got somewhere around 30,000, and he was like, look, tomorrow I'm about to roll out an update to Gmail that's going to hit 50 million people overnight. So you might want to learn this tech thing. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to hear at the time, but it's exactly what I needed to hear. And so I mustered whatever eclectic experience I could to seem relevant, got my foot in the door, but the intention was always to leave at a very clear point. I wanted to learn the Google magic of going from idea to scale, only in the way that I saw Google can.
Liquid capital that's out there, but back then, the thinking with me and my mates at Google was try three things, and one of them will work. We bought a site called software.com, and then within about 3 months the App Store launched, and the whole idea of software, installable software on your computer, went out the window. Then we had an online travel agency, and when we started to sell insurance, we realised that actually the world doesn't need another OTA, but OTAs need a platform that enable them to distribute insurance. So Cover Genius is an insurance distribution platform. So that's been the journey for me post Google, and to be honest, you know, it's nice to come back to Zoogle events and kind of engage with the community, because, you know, and it's lovely to see it popping up. You know, without having worked there for that time in that period of my life, I wouldn't have had the confidence to go and do something, because, you know, I wouldn't have known that I could go and make some money.
You're stealing my questions here.